weather. They got great weather up there.
If you go further north up there, Mackinac, whatever it is up there.
Just so you all know, you're on the air. You're live.
Okay, if everybody could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May 19th, or the May 9th, 2022 trustee meeting. Could I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Kolb,
Yes.
Mr. Huff,
Yes.
Mr. Butler is absent.
I ask for a motion to approve the trustee minutes and the work session minutes from last April.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the work session on April 25th, 2022.
Going for the meetings, I don't care.
Okay, Mr. Huff,
Yes.
Mr. Kolb,
Yes.
motion approved.
And I'll make a motion to approve the regular minutes for the April 25th, 2022 minutes.
Second.
Mr. Huff,
Yes.
Mr. Kolb,
Yes.
motion approved.
Okay, I ask for a motion to approve the payment listing.
I'll make a motion to approve the warrants for payments 2/9/2022 through 3/18/2022, and an extra in there is 3/19/2022 down to 3/22/2022. Then the rest are 11348 through 11371 for a total of $51,873.56 through 4/26 through 5/9/2022.
Second.
Mr. Huff,
Yes.
Mr. Kolb,
Yes.
motion approved.
Okay, anybody from the audience tonight? Okay. Chief?
All right, not much tonight. The first is the administration report. I just cleaned up the administrator's report on the funding mechanisms for the American Rescue Plan funds, and that is the total as of today estimated with the projects the trustees are looking for in the future. Number two, just to be aware of, it got announced today. We've seen it coming, but it got officially announced today. State Road 126 or Cincinnati Brookville is going to be fully closed for 14 days between May 16th and May 27th. It's actually right in front of Connie Reinhardt's house, just west of Weaver Road. And it will be a full closure. The state has to route because the state does only routing. Detours on state roads is going to be coming through Shannon, 748 out to 129 around. For us, anything west of that is going to be a significant delay in response because now we have to go all the way around Doak Andrewsburg, South Wire, back up California. So for that 2 weeks, it's going to be quite a little bit of a delay in our response times. And that is good weather. They also said in the announcement today that if they have bad weather, that could extend for more than the 2-week notice. So that closes officially on May 16th.
Oh, wait.
And the only other reminder I have is next meeting, when Tom is back, we need to, I gave you last meeting the language for both EMS levy to review and then also the American Rescue Plan, those 4 resolutions on the bidding to use the money. So we'll need to make, because we have a time frame on that, so we'll need to make those motions, approve those motions and those resolutions on the May 23rd meeting. And that's all I have on the administration report, unless you have questions for me on that side.
I did see an email from the governor for $70 million for retention, recruiting, and general well-being care for the fire departments.
We already have our grant writer on that this morning.
I figured
We've
you
already
did.
done some quick narrative and some guidance on that, and that would be We're already talking, as we talked about earlier, the SAFER grant, but this would be before the SAFER grant, and it looks like it's an Ohio actually specific grant. So I was talking to him actually Friday and then again today about starting the narrative process on that. So that is a very good program for the county, or for the state and for the township, yes. Yep,
All right.
perfect, thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
All right, on the fire report, we have three motions. First motion is for firefighter EMT Jacob Yan. It is his 5-year anniversary, effective 5/15 of '22, at a raise of $1.50 an hour for his 5-year anniversary to a rate of $19.10 per hour.
So moved?
Second?
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay, second one is for firefighter paramedic Stephanie McMahon. Her 3-year anniversary raise, effective 5/15 of '22, at a 15-cent an hour raise to $19.60 an hour.
So moved?
Second?
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Motion approved.
And the third one is motion for Lieutenant Jason Cook, 3-year anniversary, effective 5/15/22, at 15 cents an hour raise to $20.60 an hour.
Motion made?
Second?
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay, thank you. And I don't have executive session. I have nothing else tonight on the fire department side. And with that, Chief Griffith has the reports for the month of April this year and last year.
Okay, January through April of '22, 158 total responses, which puts us up 22 from the same period last year. 29 responses this month. Average out the door time from the time the station receives the call to out the door is still an outstanding minute and 19 seconds, with the 90th percentile being 3 minutes and 11 seconds. So we're beating that metric by a lot. And our average travel time to the scene is 4 minutes and 40 seconds. And there was no mutual aid transports in the month of April. So unless you have any other questions, that's it.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
You want me to
Hey,
go ahead
Jeff.
and give the part? Yes, sir.
Did we have a run at, there was a street on there called Lenses or something? Oh, I can't think of what the heck name that was. But it wasn't on ours.
I
It
believe
was smoke or something, though, wasn't it? Or was it a assistant fire or something?
I think that was down in Harrison?
Yes, that was in Harrison.
Oh.
That was we're since Chief's been here, we've built some great relationships with the city of Harrison, and they have added us to their structure fire response, and we send them a medic unit. So
Okay.
anytime a structure fire comes out in the city of Harrison, our medic unit gets dispatched. So that was a structure fire, and it's Lioness is what it is, because I was on that night.
Linus, yeah.
Yeah, and so we get called, we're their medic provider when they have a structure fire.
Okay. We just recently did this?
No, we started
we
this when
started
I first
when
became fire chief,
Chief
because
became-
prior to that, Harrison would have nothing to do with Morgan Township. And so now they're in our run card, we're in our run card. So any fire down on Northwood Pass, anything in that South California, they're now in our run card to send an engine and or a medic truck first out to in our run card now.
Yeah, we've built a great relationship with them. We cover them
Crosby Township's another one. We built a relationship. They would never respond here prior to me being the chief as well. So.
We cover Harrison for trainings when they have an all-city training. We staff their firehouse now with a medic, and unfortunately, we've covered a couple of funerals also. So we've got a great relationship with them. But it's a back and forth, and it's really significant that we have built this relationship with somebody in Hamilton County, because sometimes we joke that line is a wall, but for us, it's really not.
I know, okay.
And actually, to build off of that, they're now fourth. Their medic truck is now fourth to California in Cincinnati Brookville Road intersection.
Oh.
Because the station right there above Kroger,
57s.
right there, 57s, they just a straight shot up California.
Yeah, I know where that's at, but I didn't know where they're at. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's their one. That's the station that covers our south end of our township with us, and so we've used them several times at bad wrecks at Cincinnati Brookville and
It's behind
California.
Kroger's there somewhere?
It's on the road that goes over the overpass, right
Oh,
there.
What-
West Road, on West Road, right there on the other side
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
interstate
yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
Kroger. That's
Way to-
57.
To Harrison School, by the
Yes,
way, right?
yes,
Yeah.
that's the station.
You'd make a left to go to their complex, but
Yes.
you make a right, it's right there.
And
Okay.
probably just, Chief, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, we added them and they added us to their active 911. So
Yeah.
when they get page, we automatically get a page so we know ahead of time that we're going to get a call down to there, or they know they're going to get a call to us.
Do you always get the call?
What's that?
You always get the call if they get a call?
Yes. Well, it all depends on what it is. If it's
Yeah.
not, if it's something minor, no. But if
No.
it's a structure fire, medical, bad medical, we've gone down there for bad motorcycle wrecks before with them. We get a heads up on the active 911 page so we can get out the door quicker, because literally that call you're talking about, Daryl,
I
it
made
was
the-
a 5-minute delay
Yeah.
between us getting the initial active 911 page and then dispatch getting called from Cincinnati to then page us out. It was 5-minute difference. So,
And we were
So-
canceled. A lot of those, it goes out as a structure fire. Harrison gets there and assesses if it's really a structure fire. This one was smoke in the building. We made it to about your house and got disregarded. A lot of times that's what happens, but they rather have an S that's coming because Harrison's kind of an island. Like their backup is Green Township and Coleraine. Think how far that is.
Oh, my God.
So they need help quick. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's really an island. They get 3 states worth. They get also out of Indiana too. They get like Bright, and so they need help quick. So they built this tremendous card of responses, and a lot of times we get disregarded as that night Green Township did in Coleraine, but they want them coming.
Well, there's nothing around that area
Nope.
until you go to Indiana
They're
or
an
something.
island.
And-
They
They actually, Harrison covers medical calls all the way to Sunman, Indiana.
yeah,
Oh.
and New Trenton.
New Trenton.
So
So, but yeah, that, and I forgot Whitewater. We built a relationship with
Yeah.
Whitewater now as well. They're inviting us to their water rescue boat class on Thursday. So, again, those 3 south departments in Hamilton County, we've built some really good
Yeah, I was
relationships.
just curious. I
with.
never saw that name come up, and I,
Yep.
yeah, you'll see them occasionally, and it'll say City of Harrison, and that's what it is.
Yep.
yeah, I can be aware of it now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, thanks.
You want me to go ahead and do the park board? And the park board has its inaugural meeting tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Public is invited to attend. They've really been working, the chairperson and vice chairperson have really been putting in some time. They have written, subject to a vote, their bylaws are complete. They're doing their own agendas. They've got 4 maps done of like soil samples and FEMA maps and floodplains, and they've really, I mean, the email traffic is almost every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're really working. So we're really excited to see so they're gonna set their bylaws tomorrow and get going. And then they're gonna be at the Strawberry Festival with a blank map to help get some public input on what the public desires.
We're going to put a booth up or something
Yeah,
down the
they have a
summer?
booth.
Where by the firehouse there?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've already spoken to the organizers of the Strawberry Festival. They have that already organized. They also have a Google Doc survey already completed pending the vote tomorrow night of the whole full board to approve that. And they've got some minor expenses that Tom said he would give me the township credit card to get. They need a big map and a box and some other things, and Tom didn't seem to think that was a problem. So, yeah, they're moving right along. And
Now,
then-
make it so that, they can see it's other than just firehouse, it's the park board. Is it going to be on like off the side? or-
Yeah, they're gonna be, they spoke to the organizers and got what they thought was an appropriate, but it's gonna be down, they're gonna be down in Shandon part, and that's the only
Yeah,
thing that's by
yeah.
the firehouse is that it's in the Shandon side, not up here.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and then also they want a booth in September at the firehouse open house to kind of give their work, and see what people think about what they.
At the open house?
At the open house in September, so they'll take the input in June, work through the summer to try to get those ideas on paper and then get some first impressions.
Between there and then, we should have pretty much a lot together, right?
Yeah, that's the hope. I mean, they're working so hard. I can't say enough for how much they're working. We had a walkthrough last week.
Yes.
Last week, we walked it with the Metro park designer, and he gave some input too. So the chairperson and vice chairperson and a couple others came.
Hey, something I was just, they were talking about it, and I never thought that would be an issue. I thought you would want, but hills, supposedly on a walking trail, it can only be a certain,
Yeah, it's a 5%.
Steep.
That the gentleman from the park board brought that up. It can only be 5% grade. Now,
Yeah.
how you achieve 5% is not necessarily a straight hill, but you can do switchbacks that achieve the 5, and you can cheat the 5 a little, but 5% is where it has to be for Americans with disability
Yeah,
and other
yeah.
issues. So he gave some real good ideas of how to achieve that 5%. Just because it's a big hill doesn't mean it's not achievable. It's just you have to be thoughtful in your planning of how you keep that 5%. And so the chairperson and vice chairperson are aware of the 5%.
Okay.
And it can be achieved.
I never heard of that, but it makes sense that they would do that for
Yeah.
elderly and the disability.
Yeah, or people using a wheelchair, or moms with strollers, but it's mainly driven out of the
pushing- yeah,
Americans with Disability Act, but it applies to a lot of different activities on a trail. So, yeah, so they're going to work through that too. So they're really, I can't tell you all the email traffic that goes through almost every day from these folks. They are really jumped full in
Are
on
we
this.
privy to that, the trustees?
Yeah,
or-
you're in the
Okay.
park board email group.
Okay.
And she sends most everything to park board email, unless it's like those maps. She didn't fill up your email with it because,
Okay.
but yeah, she sent several, and everybody's in chief, everybody's in the park board mail group,
Okay.
and she sends them through, so. But they're really working. So we'll see what tomorrow night brings, but they've got a full agenda, and they've got their agenda
Okay,
done.
but we're not going to attend.
No, you're not going to, right, that's what you
Okay.
said. We're going to let them run as a board,
Yeah.
and then if they have questions, I'll be sure to bring them to you, and I'll update it at the next meeting of where they're at.
Yep.
Thanks, Jeff.
Okay.
Thanks, Jeff.
Rob, you got anything tonight?
Couple things. First is we're continuing our crack sealing program, hopefully to finish that up this week. We have the culvert on the dead end Chapel Road is complete. We just have to rebuild the fence, which I'm trying to get the certain posts that the property owner requested. And the one thing is, we don't have very much as far as retracing this year for our, I decided to try to save some money this year, because every other year we retrace the roads on the north side of the township one year, and then the next year we'll do the south side of the township. And everything has been done several times, and so I thought maybe we'd try to save a little bit of money this year. But I did still want to have the railroad crossings at Chapel Road and Lehigh redone, and also the school zone redone. And they gave me an estimate of $1,803.12 was their original estimate. Well, the estimates come back a little bit higher, and they asked if we still wanted to go. And they come back at $2,214.41 for a difference of $411.29. So I'm asking you, as our original resolution 15-2022 was for $1,803.12, if we could amend that to make it $2,214.41, so that contractor can go ahead to redo the retracing.
And it's the school zone, and it's the railroad, one school zone and one railroad crossing.
2 railroad crossings, 1 school zone.
Okay.
It's the school zone being the school where it starts on the north and where it's on the south. So there's 2 different stencils that have to be retraced. And then there's actually 4 stencils at the 2 railroad crossings, 1 on each side of the track, that needs to be retraced.
Okay.
What about, if you're doing it down here in Morgan, are you doing the railroad crossing on Chapel?
Yes.
Okay.
Chapel and Lehigh.
Oh, them two. Well,
Both
not
Chapel.
Cincinnati Brookville then.
No, that's not ours to do,
Oh,
that's state.
Yeah, okay.
And Race Lane is county, so we're only doing what's Morgan Townships.
All right.
And New Haven Road is county.
How soon are they planning on doing that?
Just as soon as I give them this, they'll turn it in, and hopefully within a month or so, it won't be in May, it'll probably be the 1st of June, between 1st of June to the 1st of July, that'll happen.
Okay. So
So
then,
basically, it'll be the school zones is not so much for this year, that'll be redone and ready to go for next fall. That way it's all good for next school year, and then the railroad crossings will just, when they get to them, and they're all legible now, just this
Yeah.
is to make sure that they stay legible,
Okay, was there a resolution on that funding for
Well-
the paint?
Our original resolution was 15-2022, and we need to either amend that.
Amend.
Or rescind it?
Need to amend that
Not rescind it?
to a new price of $2,214.41.
Okay, we can, let's just go ahead and amend it, if that would be suitable, and then I'll make the motion. Second?
To approve?
Yeah, to increase that.
I mean, do you have to say the amount?
Well, if we've got it recorded.
Okay,
We've
okay.
got we've got the
Our second.
resolution already recorded, we're just amending it to the new amount.
To the new amount of
Yeah.
$2,214.41.
Right, I'll second it.
Okay, Mr. Cole?
Yes,
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
So we're just gonna go back and change the wording on that? I mean,
No, this will be 075.
Okay, all right.
okay, Rob, anything else, Rob?
Believe that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Tina's got one other thing for me, but she'll bring that up, so.
What was the name?
Or you can ask him, go ahead.
Tina, what was the name of that company that's gonna do the replacement?
Who's doing the retracing?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I think it's
We're
A&A
just-
Safety, I think, but
Well,
I'm
we're
not.
just allocating that
Well,
much
hold on,
money.
here, hold on, I've got it here. Let me bring up Eric's email. It'll be to Aeromark. That's all I have is Aeromark. I do know that's the name of the company, Aeromark, but I don't know if it's Enterprises or what it is, but.
Okay. Got everything you need, Eleanor?
I think so.
Okay. Dale, Ted?
I do have one other thing. I need a PO for $5,000 for blacktopping, because once we're done doing our crack sealing, we've got a bunch of pavement repair we have to do, and that's to Mount Pleasant Asphalt Company for $5,000, so we can do our repairs throughout the summer here.
Will
Tell
that get
them
through
this.
the summer? All the repairs you need? That's,
Probably not, but that'll get me started.
okay. So moved?
Second?
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Now is that all?
That is it.
Okay. Dale and Ted,
That's fine.
thank you.
You have in your packet a letter, okay, that I sent. I received last week a letter from KMK, who is representing RFI, it should be RFI, in regards to the violation of the property at 6193 Cincinnati Brookville Road. RFI has cleared the inoperable vehicles and all of the refuge and the garbage and the debris, and the outhouse has been removed, and the openings to the underground storage tanks have been covered with a concrete powder to prevent intruders. I've written this letter and emailed it to the KMK lawyer, Sophia Holly, in response to their action that RFI has taken. And in the process, I have removed the violation such, but I've also asked that, you have the letter there, I've also asked that we will meet and I get monthly updates on two things. One, the underground storage tanks, and the second one, the conditions of the soil throughout for it until such time as necessary. They will keep me informed on a monthly basis, as you can see in the letter, and everything else. Now, this letter was written by me and processed by Jack last Friday, and everything else. So Jack has looked this over. Mr. Grove said that I did basically a well-written letter to begin with, but we tweaked it enough so that I can legally stand on that letter and allow them to be done. We will be meeting on the property here soon. That date is to be determined still. And then we will meet one more time on the property when they have gotten plans from Buster. Buster is the underground storage tank facility, group team out of the Commerce Department in this, of the state, okay? And everything else. And I'll keep you updated on the progress going on with 6193 since I Brookville Road. Any questions there or any thoughts?
That's the residence, that's the address down in Okeana.
Yes, where the MGB was.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
I use that as a place for everybody to remember. It's the little MGB car is no longer there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Gotcha. Okay,
all right.
no, that's good.
All right, I turn it over to Ted for the moment.
I've got 6439 Okeana Drewsburg. They've cleaned up a lot of the cars. None of the cars are sitting on the road anymore. They've removed like 4 cars off of the property, and they're currently cleaning it up. It looks like he's kind of shuffling some other things around. The 4786 Alert New London, the van that was there that was hiding in the bushes is gone. That's been removed. The 7657 Southwire Road, they are removing currently equipment. They're pulling stuff out.
What kind of equipment?
It's cars, but
Okay.
yeah, cars and old trucks. Stuff there was stuff way in the back. I mean, the weeds were pretty much covering most of the vehicles. The 2441 Millville Shannon, I drove up there the other day. The truck that we originally cited them for is gone. The fire pit is still there, but it doesn't look like they've been burning anything of any content. 2 new letters were sent, 2601 and 2787, or 82. 2601,
87.
26, wait a minute. Okay,
It's
well,
87, I mistyped.
okay,
I'm sorry.
2687. Bell Road, we've sent 2 letters to them. They went out today. Also, I got a call on Howard Road about some cars being in the back of the property. They're inoperable vehicles, and they're all the way in the back of this guy's place. And I told him that I'd get out there when the weather was a little nicer so I could drive all the way in the back. I called him today, no response. So I'll call him again tomorrow, and if I can get some pictures, I'll get a letter together and I'll send it to Dale, and Dale will send it out.
What was the addresses on Bell Road?
2601,
And
2787.
yeah, 2787.
Those numbers are right, okay.
Those numbers are, yeah.
Okay.
You change the 2,
To a-
2782, change it to 7.
Right.
Because they're on the same side of the road, and that's the
Right.
opposite side.
So they're the ones that are pretty known as you drive up the road on the left, coming from here, you go up,
Okay.
they got lots of stuff. So, and that's pretty much where we stand with most of that stuff.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to take a moment here just to walk back to what we have back here for the land use program, okay? This is what the land use program has put together. Basically, these banners were done by OKI, Representative Andy Meyer. And the things I want to start doing with them basically is I have them on paper, okay? And when we get to the open house for the fire department, I'm going to have them there. I'm going to take them down to the Strawberry Festival myself and do that. But we start with the comprehensive plan update and where we stand. We move to demographics and housing that shows the updated demographics and housing for Morgan Township. We're waiting on the 2020 census improvement. That's probably the only one that will be changed out of that. The other one is the rural character, which is the big focus of the land use plan to begin with. We do want that use to be, that rural character use to remain as much as possible. The fourth one is the land use itself, what is there. The 2 top ones are if there are to be developments within the city, or I mean within the township, that there are 2 plausible ways that a subdivision might be able to be put into the to the township and yet still control the rural character of it. The others are the plan's goals and everything else. The next steps are we will not be meeting in May because Andy and OKI are in the process of writing the document. And then they will meet in June to look over the document. Then they will do that, and with the intent of probably sending that document to the zoning commission for a tentative approval. The zoning commission will then send it to the Butler County Planning Commission for their comments approval. and then back to the commission for the recommendation to send it to you, the trustees, for final approval. I anticipate that will be sometime, probably September, right as we go in. All right? Any questions there?
Okay, no, good work, thanks.
Jeff and I, Mr. Galloway and I, he's going to purchase some stands because we have the artwork there. We have some art stands that were provided by OKI, but we would like some permanently for ours. I looked up today on Amazon and found basically a $25 stand that does the same thing. And Mr. Galloway's going to be ordering those through his Amazon account for us. And so that there will be stands here, and we're going to keep those up through September at least in here, but we'll arrange them in a different order somehow. All right? I'm very proud of the work they've done, okay? And everything else. It has been not a chore, it's just been interesting, and everything else too. But there's the basic results, okay? But there will be a booklet, a sort of a document piece come out of it. The zoning commission met May the 4th and continued discussion basically on business registration. Chapter 18, reviewing regulations on signs. How many, I've counted, at the corner of Cincinnati Brookville Road and Chapel here, there are 6 signs down there.
Yeah.
They're all temporary. And we have kind of we have in our regulation, there's a 60-day allowability, and then after 10 days, they should be gone. So we discussed, and we're going to work at it, and they put the onus back on me. So I'm going to be calling most of those people and saying, you have another 60 days, because we're just now looking at it. After that 60 days, if the sign is not removed, they have 10 days to remove it. Then, what did we say, Ken? I forgot exactly. They have to be down for 60 days before they can be re-signed. Or we also said then they would need to come in and get a certificate as well, and everything else. So hopefully we'll cut down on that, because, I mean, right now, if you tried to cut the grass there at the corner of Chapel, you couldn't do it. You'd have to remove all the signs. So that's our idea. There's one at the corner of Chapel and Jenkins. Across the way, there's some at Lehigh.
A lot of times the state they'll just bush hog them down.
I know.
Anyway, so.
Yeah,
I mean,
but still, I'd like to be on it
Yeah.
a little better.
Yeah.
And the BZA held their variance hearing on May the 5th. The owner was asking for a front yard setback variance of 20 feet, and the board denied the applicant's variance. At this time, the basic reason was the practical difficulties. He did not give enough support for practical difficulties. And everything else. Any other questions?
Okay.
Oh, and you have your biweekly summary of certificates to come in. It says it there on the top, new certificates issued, okay? And that's going to be that's a biweekly occurrence.
All right.
That's it for me then.
Thanks, Dale. Tina?
Okay, I need approval for a PO to LCNB National Bank for the fire station improvement bond installment payment that is due June 1st, 2022 for $35,185.98 from Fund 2111, of which $18,500 is the principal and $16,685.98 is the interest.
So moved?
Second.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved. And also an approval for a PO to Michael Buckhay for the lean-to that has been built in the amount of $5,100 from Fund 2111.
How's that look, Chief? Are you satisfied with it?
I'm very.
All right, good.
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Motion approved. That's all I have. Thank you. Oh, other than I gave everyone a copy, we got SRM, Valley Asphalt, and Butler County Development saying that prices going, or the Valley Asphalt and SRM Concrete, how their prices are going to be going up. And then this thing from Butler County Development about the wind,
The wind farms?
yes.
Okay,
So I gave everyone a copy of that.
okay. Mr. Huff?
I attended the, well, I do every week, just about anyway, the senior group down in Okeana. And they wanted me to sort of announce as there, you know, that let everybody know that it's open every Thursday at noon down at the community center. A group of the elderly people, seniors in Morgan Township meet down there, and our group's getting smaller. It's not getting any bigger. We've lost a few in the last couple of years. You might be interested in that, Ray, coming down there. I'm down there. Yeah, yeah. And there's a few guys down there, mainly older women, but you know, we play games and things, and pretty interesting. But anyway, I just want to just let everybody know, you know, it's open and it's no charge, and come down and see what goes on. And then the other thing, attended, of course, the election and the primary this Tuesday. I want to congratulate Rob Brim there for his win on his precinct.
Oh,
Run down
okay.
there. Yeah, remember? Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
remember.
Jeff Kolb, as a matter of fact. And Jeff was one of the first ones since I've been out here, I've seen it, won by one vote. So that goes to show every vote counts in Morgan Township. Every vote I lost by 8 votes one time, and it came back up 2 times. I mean, it came out the same, but one vote was pretty rare when you talk about, you know, a couple hundred votes. And that's all I got.
Okay, the only thing I have tonight is to, thanks Daryl, is to recognize Daryl for his successful campaign in the election that we had last Tuesday. So congratulations to you, Daryl.
Thank you.
And that's all I have for tonight. So I will, if there's no other questions, no other concerns, I will, yes, sir.
I'd like to compliment the road crew.
Why don't you step up to make this official?
I'll get used to it. These are a compliment to Rob. I checked your work, and it was great. Usually when you go other places, crack filling, that means they hit it somewhere. He did a great job in front of my house. Good job.
He did Bell Road too?
Well,
Yeah.
just from Lehigh Road to the curve, we have not went around the curve going
No,
down the
but-
hill because we wanted to get the north end of Morgan Ross. We wanted to get it
Mm-hmm.
done. That, and we really need at least one more person to be able to do down the hill with the
Yeah.
curves.
Yeah.
And I just don't see how we can safely do that, so
Yeah.
that part.
That was honestly a great job, great job.
Thank you. That,
And then the other one is to Dale for May 4th. That was tremendous. The other problem I have, I try to talk to neighbors to come. I try to talk to my wife to come. Everybody's afraid they're going to get asked a question.
You were supposed to be the ones asking
know,
questions.
I know.
mean, you know, it's like,
But it's so
Yeah.
neat to come to these things.
we actually had fewer people than I thought, but there was 3 things going on that's kind of stomped on us a little bit. The Butler County, Butler Rural Electric's
Dinner,
annual meeting,
yeah.
dinner. Ross had a big meeting on their zoning and
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah, it was
So
great.
which took a lot of Morgan Township people down there, which
Yeah.
was fine, and everything else. And there was one other event going on, I forgot.
But it was so nice to meet people.
Yeah,
The park board was
Jim.
meeting that night too, wasn't it?
no,
They-
although you were
the night
meeting
of
back, you were walking, you
Yeah.
did a walking thing. Was another.
Yeah, there was a lot of
thing
things
that took
going on
place.
that Thursday,
Yeah,
wasn't there? Yeah.
yeah, and I didn't know all of those things were gonna happen all at once. We chose
It was great.
the 28th, and that was the date to
Yeah.
do it.
The other thing is, next time, fat-free cake.
It's all fat-free. All right, well, thank
That's
you.
all.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Mr.
Ray.
Swan, I appreciate it.
Okay, if nothing else, I'll make a motion to conclude the meeting.
Second?
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved. 7:39.